The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.
Not exactly the best weather for baseball, but nonetheless, opening day, one of the best days of the year. And it is opening day for the 2016 high school baseball season on the HAN Network. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rob Adams. We're coming to you live from Nathan Hale Middle School in Norwalk for the first varsity game to be played at this new facility as the Brien McMahon Senators come in to take on the hometown Norwalk Bears. Very happy to have you along under rainy skies. It has been raining all day, stopping occasionally, but we have seen a whole lot of rain as this Saturday afternoon and morning, of course, has rolled along. And really, almost every game around the state has been postponed or determined to be TBA'd, as they say. And we look out at this field right now, only one other game expected to be played, and that's just down the road with a 1 o'clock start as well. That's Darien taking on the Fitch Falcons. For the Brien McMahon Senators, they're coming off a season in which they went 7-13 overall, 6-12 in the FCAC. We're not a playoff team, and they want to get back to those state playoffs and certainly to the FCAC as well. For Pete Tucci's Norwalk Bears, they were 18-7 in 2015, made it to the Class LL semis. They went 14-4 in the FCAC. They were, of course, a playoff team, but nonetheless did not win the championship. Of course, we know the Wilton Warriors won it last year at Harbor Yard, beating the Staples Wreckers in a fabulous 1-0 8-inning affair that we will all remember for a long time. Starting lineups as we get ready to play ball here. We will introduce the starting lineups now. For John Cross and the Senators, they will lead off with Wadi Almonte at second base. Michael Claps is batting second and playing third. Hitting third and playing center fielders Hunter Dumas. Richard Clemens is batting fourth and playing center field. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Andrew Matthews. Matthew Galis is hitting sixth and playing first base. Anthony Sochi is batting seventh and catching. Chris Giordano hits eighth. He is the shortstop. And Griffin Root is batting ninth and playing right field. On the other side, for the Norwalk Bears, they will lead off with their shortstop, Ed McCade. Reed Singerwall will bat second and play right field. Hitting third is the pitcher, Mike Gonzalez. Mo Ortiz batting fourth and playing center. Ed O'Hara hits fifth and plays third. Marco Montero is the catcher. He is batting sixth. Hitting seventh is Max Berman in left. Alex Barone hitting eighth, the designated hitter. And batting ninth, Ryan Searles, the first baseman. Defensively, as the Bears take the field with a nice round of applause and the scoreboard lit up and looking gorgeous out in left field beyond the kind of the left field fence. We take a look defensively. For Norwalk, they send Max Berman to left, Mo Ortiz to center, and Reed Singerwall around and right. Ed O'Hara at third, Ed McCabe at short, Tom Benincasa at second base, and Ryan Searles is at first. Marco Montero catching a right-hander, Mike Gonzalez. And Gonzalez has been nothing short of wonderful. Coming off of last year, he pitched to a 2.27 ERA, 36 strikeouts, and 37 innings of work. He also hit .333 at the plate. He will attend Miami-Dade Community College. He did have a back injury last year. That's something to keep in mind as well. I saw the Bears head coach, the longtime head coach, Pete Tucci, before the game, and I said, Gonzalez, that's an easy call, and he just kind of smiled and said, yeah, it certainly is. So, teams on the field, and we are getting ready for baseball. And just about ready to go. Time to just kind of let it all sink in for a moment. The rain has picked up. From our perspective here, it's kind of coming down at an angle from left to right. But the wind not expected to be a problem. But it's certainly nice as we get ready for first pitch to kind of have that moment to kind of let it all sink in and say, man, finally, we're going to play ball. And it has been a long winter, but not a terrible winter. I think last year many of us, and certainly me included, were curled up in a fetal position waiting for winter to get over with. This year, not as bad. As the infield all gathers around, Some final words for Gonzalez. Ed O'Hara with a slap on the back, and he heads over to third. Gotten to know him a little bit. He actually sat next to us for our broadcast over of the FCAC Basketball Championship. Wadi Almonte is a left-handed hitter. He will face the righty, Mike Gonzalez. And ladies and gentlemen, 2016 is underway. A fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes. You all can have Times Square. You all can have your ball drop. You can all have any of that stuff. This is the new year right here. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch on the way. That's low, short hopped. 2 balls and no strikes. Rain continues to fall. First pitch thrown at 1:20. So we are 20 minutes late. 46 degrees for first pitch. Under rainy skies. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch on the way. Fastball upstairs. So a little bit of the jitters maybe, or working out that mound. It is a turf field, and of course that's why Darien will play today as well. There are only 2 turf fields around this area. This, the newest, and 1 out of the 2. 3-0. That's low, ball 4. So the left-handed hitting Almonte heads down to first with a leadoff walk, and we are underway for 2016. Now Michael Claps due up. Claps will step into the right-handed batter's box. Have to get used to the turf. Of course, the pitching mound is dirt, and you have to keep that in mind. How's Gonzalez footing out there? Otherwise, the field, as you can see, drains magnificently. Righty-righty matchup with a runner off first and a throw over, scooped out over there by Searles. We are expected to see rain around the area at least through 3 o'clock this afternoon. Scoreboard in operation, but they are not using the ball and strike so far. Pitch on the way is bounced foul. Giving it a look was O'Hara, third base side. And it's no balls and a strike. You say big deal, but for Gonzalez, that is a big deal. After 4 straight misses, he does get a strike. So now he can settle down and pitch his game. Runner off first, no score, top of the first. Being held on by Searles, Almonte over there. And the 0-1 on the way to Claps. Swung on and missed. Good fastball on the outside part of the plate at the knees, and the count 0-2. So like everybody else, now you settle down. Whether you're a broadcaster, a fan, a writer, or more importantly, pitcher and hitter, now it just becomes baseball. Pitch. That's in the dirt. Now they're starting to use the scoreboards like they heard me. 1-2. They have it as 2-2, but I believe it is a 1-2 count. The gentleman behind the plate, of course, he gets the final say on it all. Runner off first, no score. McMahon and Norwalk. Pitch coming. Pulled to the left side. O'Hara will gobble it there after it bounces away from him. Throw on to first, and there's the first out. Moving on to second is Almonte, and there's 1 away. With the bobble, O'Hara probably does not get the speedy Almonte coming down from first. So a runner in scoring position now, and 1 man out. It'll bring up Hunter Dumas, the center fielder. Certainly a key man for this team this year. A right-handed hitter going up against the righty, Mike Gonzalez. Top of the first, no score. And the pitch coming to him. Fastball on the inside corner, 0-1. No dimensions on the outfield fences here. It is quite a poke down the line. Certainly to center field, grab your golf clubs. No balls and a strike. Breaking ball is sliced to right center field. It's a long run, and making the catch in right field is Singerwald. Tagging on to third goes Almonte with a head-first slide, but that's a heck of a catch in right field by Reed Singerwald, and there are 2 away. That saved a run, if not 2. Dumas can fly. But he hit it hard, and it was a long way to track it down. You can see from where Ortiz is playing in center, that ball gets over somebody's head and heads toward that triangle out to dead center field. That is a long run. Here's Richard Clemens as the pitch gets away. Almonte to the plate. Throw not in time. 1-0. Almonte and Gonzalez collide. Almonte comes up and shows safe, and it's a 1-0 game on the wild pitch. So just when you thought they were out of trouble, on comes the run, and it's a 1-0 game. And a 1-ball, no-strike count on Clemens. And that's just a matter of taking a look and saying, maybe the ball is wet. Certainly with this rain falling, you can imagine that would be a wet baseball. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody on now, 2 out, and 1-0 McMahon. Now he'll work from the windup. Cranks and brings it home. Fastball low. 2 balls and no strikes. You think back to maybe the bobble by O'Hara at third. That allowed Almonte to get to second. Takes the double play away. And then the quick thinking as the ball is trapped down in right by Singerwald. Moving the runner to third. And then Almonte with the speed from the top of the order. The minute that ball got away, he scattered home with the first run. That pitch is low. 3 balls and no strikes. 1-0. Top of the first and a 3-0 on the way to Richard Clemens, a right-handed hitter. Now the 3-0. A room service strike, 3-1. McMahon wearing those blue batting practice tops. Says McMahon in kind of that script style in red, outlined in white with a white number on that jersey. It's a nice look. Pitches bounce foul. Numbers in block style on the back, as you can see from Clemens. Outlined in red, the white pants with the piping up and down. But it's the hats for the Senators that put this uniform over the top. Norwalk, same look as they had last year. Those white pinstripe pants with that very neon-y green. Pitches upstairs, ball 4. So the second walk of the inning. 1 on and 2 out for Andrew Matthews, the designated hitter. So that much lighter green outlined with a darker green. Many of them wearing the green long-sleeved undershirts underneath. And that classic hat, nothing to not like about the Kelly green or even Hunter green cap, I suppose, with that white block-style N on it. But McMahon's hat is a thing of beauty. If we haven't shown you yet, we will. Pitch on the way to Matthews. Checked his swing on a fastball upstairs, 1-0. We have a whole lot of action to bring you throughout April and then into May. I'll kind of explain the schedule as we move along. This is a line drive to center starting in. Now going back, it's over the head of Ortiz in center. The classic mistake. Rounding first, heading to second, Matthews. On his horse, coming home, Clemens. On his way to third and sliding in safely with a triple is Matthews. It's a 2-0 ball game. That is that classic mistake that was made in center. The ball was hit on a line to begin with. And the minute you take that step in, you can have all kinds of trouble. That was the case there. Ortiz could never recover. Matthews was on his horse, went to third. Clemens scored 2-0. So a good start for the Senators. The very high hopes for the Bears this year with all the players they bring back. And the Senators want to climb right back into the conversation. Now Matthew Galis, the 7th man up in the inning, and he takes a called strike, 0-1. Correction, make that the 6th man up in the inning. I'm ahead of myself already with Anthony Sochi on deck. No balls, 1 strike, 2-0 McMahon. Runner off third, 1-0. Pulled to third. Toward the line goes O'Hara. Sets and fires and grabbed at first for the final out of the inning. But McMahon does get 2 runs to open the 2016 season. They strand 1. To the bottom of the first we go. McMahon 2, Norwalk coming to bat. You're watching FCAC Baseball on the HAN Network. It was a great game, but it got messy at the end. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate, back to you.
Thanks, Rob. Well, speaking of messy, here's a story about how Triple S cleaned up a big problem for the HAN network. Eric, let's roll that footage.
The HAN network travels all over Fairfield County in our HAN Cruiser, covering news, sports, and entertainment.
And when we do, we make sure that our HAN network branded floor mats are with us to keep the dust and dirt outside.
These mats get filthy, and there's only one company that can get rid of that kind of dirt.
Triple S, with locations all over Fairfield County. We're just now pulling into their Stamford facility. Rob, let's go see if Steve and Wanda can clean these mats up.
Wanda, Steve, literally thousands of feet have walked across our mats in the last 5 months in wind, rain, mud, more.
Is there any way you could make these mats look like new again?
No problem.
That's what we do here. Come on in.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
Back at Nathan Hale Middle School in Norwalk. Riding solo today, although Jake LaHiff is keeping me company alongside of me. Josh Fisher here, tweeting away. AJ Simonowski running the controls. Eric Gendron and his lovely wife Elise had to head down to the city for some fun today. Sean Saylor on one camera, John Kovach on another. Marty Hersom simply doing his thing. At one point I thought he was heading toward a camera, but he monitors it all and keeps us all in line and makes sure I get chilly. So it's a good deal. Bottom of the first inning, 2-0. Now the Norwalk Bears with their chance to answer. Ed McCabe, Reed Singerwald, and Mike Gonzalez do up. Pitch on the way. Misses outside with a fastball, 1-0. Right-hander Jeff Vitito rocks and deals, swung on and bounced foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. I did get a piece of information, and doggone that AJ Simonowski is good. I will explain in a moment. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball, dives low, 2 balls and a strike. Apparently Google Maps is your friend. I mean, it's my friend. We're friendly. And what AJ discovered will astound you. Pitches in the dirt, 3 balls and 1 strike. It is a symmetrical ballpark, so says AJ. 300 to the lines and 425 to dead center. That is a long poke. For a mere matter of comparison, hold the phone just a moment. 3 balls and a strike. Nobody out, bottom of the first, 2-0 McMahon. Vitito brings it home. Breaking ball. Bounce to the left side, down to a knee, goes Giordano. On to first, scooped out, 1 away. We'll set the defense in a moment. Old Yankee Stadium, and I mean old Yankee Stadium. Even before the 1974-75 remodeling, 461 to dead center. That beautiful 1923 edifice, I can't talk about it too much, I tear up. Reed Singerwald is a left-handed batter. And Vitito rocks and deals. That stays high. Fastball 1-0. Defensively for the Senators, Michael Claps at third, Chris Giordano at short, Wadi Almonte at second, Matthew Galis at first, Richard Dumas in left, Hunter Dumas in center, Griffin around and right. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike, and I just realized Richard Clemens, excuse me. Anthony Sochi behind the dish catching Jeff Vitito. That's upstairs, check to swing. 2 balls and a strike. Sometimes in the chaos of getting ready to call a baseball game, the lineups can be, dare we say, a little timely. The 2-1. Swung and a miss, late on a high fastball, 2-2. So, we come back up to room 214 where we're situated, and we write furiously the 2-2. Just inside, framed by Sochi, but he didn't get the call. 3-2. We will explain one of the more unique broadcast booths we've ever had. The payoff pitch is on the way, swung and bounced foul at the plate. We'll do it again. When we arrived on scene, well, let me go back even further. I was here during the week for the first time to take a look at this facility and saw that, okay, maybe we'll stand behind home plate. Here's the payoff pitch. A high fly ball to right. Waiting on it, Griffin Root. Moving near the line, he makes the catch. And there's 2 away. And I took a look and took all kinds of pictures and, 67 color glossy photos with circles and arrows and everything else. That, by the way, is Analysis Restaurant reference if you didn't get it. But nonetheless, I said, okay, this works. Then Mother Nature started laughing. And beyond that, the camera angles were getting a little tougher for us. Here's Mike Gonzalez. Takes a called strike on the outer half, 0-1. So the great staff here, led by Stan, the man. Pitch on the way. Swung and missed at a high, I want to say fastball, but I think he changed speeds just a little bit, 0-2. And of course, Doug Marchetti, the fabulous athletic director at Norwalk High, they took such good care of us. The 0-2 misses outside. Vidito wanted the call. He didn't get it, 1-2. So they opened things up, which is where we knew we would get internet access. But more importantly, I was speaking with Stan and said, is there a room that has a good view of the field? 1-2. Swung on and got just a piece of it. We'll do it all over again. In the meantime, prior to that, John Kovach, Eric Gendron, Sean Saylor, A.J. Simonowski, and I almost all at once glanced up at this room that we're in and said, I wonder if we could call it up there. Now the 1-2. Lifted foul, back behind home plate. Everybody waits for the clank off the car, but it didn't bounce. It'll be 1-2 all over again. 2-0, bottom of the first. We'll continue on the press box discussion when we get more time. That's in the dirt, 2-2. Another pitch allows me to tell you that we came up here and we began to look around and say, well, to quote Shrek, that'll do. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, last of the first. Bounced foul, Gonzalez in a battle. We'll do it all over again. It will not surprise you to find out that if you're a high school broadcaster, you have on occasion stepped into a classroom to broadcast out of. Probably 10 or so times I've done it. 2-2. High fly ball, not deep, ranging over. Hunter Dumas in right center will put it away, and the inning comes to an end. Took a while, but it was 3 up, 3 down when all was said and done. 1 gone here in Norwalk. And it's McMahon 2, Norwalk nothing as you're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network. Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
Top of the second inning in Norwalk, 2-0 our score. Baseball off and running for 2016 on the HAN Network. It'll be Anthony Sochi, Chris Giordano, and Griffin Root due up here in the top of the second against Mike Gonzalez, the right-hander for Norwalk. We're back with you now on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday And it's all non-baseball for you baseball fans. Boys lacrosse on Tuesday as John Jay from New York comes out to play the New Canaan Rams. Girls lacrosse at 4 o'clock on the HAN network. And that's a good news thing for two reasons. Folks might not know, the HAN network does stick our toe into New York. We do have a school in the Empire State that sometimes we're able to get on the air. We try, not always successful, but we are able to, and it is the John Jay Indians out of Cross River, New York, part of the Lewisboro Ledger. Top of the second underway with a fastball at the knees on the outside corner, 0-1 to Sochi, a right-handed hitter. Outfield plays it straight away. On the outfield is Benincasa at second pitch. Breaking ball served to the right side and snagged at first by Searles, 1 away. So a better start to the second for Gonzalez, and it'll bring up Giordano, the shortstop. He will bat from the left-handed side. That not ultra-rare left-handed batter, right-handed thrower. Believe me, we're some of the best people I know. And he takes a fastball away, 1-0. I always remind people Bobby Mercer was a left-handed batter and a right-handed thrower. 1 ball, no strikes. He takes a fastball at the knees, and the count levels at 1-1. So we will see John Jay and New Canaan on Tuesday in girls lacrosse. I'll give you Wednesday and Thursday in a moment. Pitch is short hopped and grabbed by Montero, 2 balls and a strike. On Wednesday, we'll have Fairfield Prep and New Canaan in boys lacrosse. That's at 4:30 at Dunning Field. No truth to the rumor, I'm going to actually sleep at Dunning Field. 2-1. Swung on late on a fastball, 2-2. But don't tempt me. It is fairly comfortable in there. Then Thursday, a brave new world. The 2-2. That's short hopped. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It is something we have talked about doing. Look to the left, look to the right, look to the left, look to the right. Tennis. Girls tennis, to be exact, on Thursday. And that's Darien and Ludlow at 4 o'clock at Ludlow. Swung on and missed. And the first strikeout of the afternoon for Mike Gonzalez. So 2 away. He is throwing heat here in inning number 2, and it'll bring up Griffin Root, the right fielder. A right-handed hitter against the righty Mike Gonzalez in a 2-0 game, top of the second. Only 7 innings on that scoreboard. Out in the left field foul ground. Pitch is a called strike. A fastball, 0-1. Of course, they only play 7 in high school ball. And I would imagine most of the games here will either go 6 or 7, pending extra innings, of course. Pushed foul to the right side, well late, 0-2. So excited to try girls tennis. And yes, certainly when you try something new, there are some nerves, but Josh Fisher and I will call it for you. We're going to try to get somebody else to kind of help us work the grounds because, of course, matches going on, multiple matches, but that is Thursday, the 0-2. Short hopped, 1-2. But I will not lie, there are always those nerves, just as there were nerves today. First game in a couple of weeks, first baseball game since really last July that we've called here, the 1-2. Well outside and in the dirt, 2-2. Of course, that last baseball game was that Babe Ruth tournament we did last July. The 15 games in 5 days phenomenon that I enjoyed every pitch of as we watched a team from Massachusetts win that Babe Ruth regional title. The 2-2. Took something off of it, lifted to right and down the line, slicing foul. So we'll do it again, 2-2. We in the interest of honesty, if you had seen our scheduling or planning to do a game on Monday at Fairfield Prep. It was going to be Trumbull and Fairfield Prep on Monday. The short answer is, facility-wise, it did not work out. The longer answer is, missed phone calls, emails, and such. It just did not plot as well as we wanted it to. The 2-2 is right back up the middle and onto the outfield grass. Grab there, throw to first, not nearly in time. There's the danger of Benincasa playing on the outfield turf. I keep saying grass, but you understand the nomenclature. He had to go to his right, grab it, make the strong throw to first. It's got to go as an infield single, root on with one on now and two out. And that is hit number 2 for the Senators. They lead 2-0 back to the top of the order, and Wadi Almonte, he walked and scored in the first, scoring on a wild pitch. A righty-lefty matchup, and the pitch on the way. Fastball low, 1-0. So wanted to do that game, but on the other hand, we're still at the very tail end of the FCAC Tour Monday, hitting both Fairfield schools. So if you have not been interviewed yet, we're coming to see you. Throw over to first, diving back safely is Root. Overthrow at the mound, but backing him up is O'Hara. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2-0. McMahon on top with the 2 runs in the first. The righty takes a look at first, now settles at the belt, throws to first, and a dive back again by Root. We've been to 15 of the 17 schools. Just have Fairfield to visit in the FCAC. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. Missing upstairs and away. 2-0. And we have had some great interviews once again. Seems like everybody gets better with each go-round. 2-0. Room service and at the knees, 2 balls and a strike, taking all the way. The lefty loves that low and inside pitch. Almonte let it go. The 2-0 with a runner off first. That's a called strike on the outer half at the knees, 2-2. Gonzalez trying to fight back. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2-0. In the second, and the pitch. Bounce to the mound. Gonzalez to his right, sets, throws, and the inning comes to an end. 1-3 on the putout. Inning over. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. Middle of the second now at Nathan Hale Middle School. 2-0 McMahon on top of Norwalk on the HAN Network.
Want to learn how sponsored content can help your business? Let the HAN Network help. First of all, what is sponsored content? Well, it's a story, video, or other content compelling enough for folks to want to read it, view it, or interact with it, and it's sponsored by a business. We create this kind of content for clients all the time. We build an interesting story or video that carefully weaves your business's brand into the narrative. It might be a story about how the condominium law in New York State makes property taxes on condos much lower than in Connecticut. The sponsor is a condo developer in Westchester, New York. Or a video explaining the European roots of a cafe and yoga studio in Wilton. Or talking about the history of a brand, product, or store while showing its modern-day incarnation. Or even a poll that asks readers to answer a question that leads them to your brand. Let the HAN Network Content Studio build a story around your business.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
Bottom of the second inning from Norwalk's Nathan Hale Middle School. Mo Ortiz at O'Hara and Marco Montera due up for Pete Tucci's Norwalk Bears in their traditional green and white. And Jeff Vitito in his second inning of work starts the inning with a pitch pulled to the left side and foul. He jumped on it well out in front of it, no balls and a strike. Inside room 214 here. Just has this great feeling of an old middle school, which it is, built in 1952. In fact, A.J. Simonowski and I took a look at the auditorium. Breaking ball stays upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just from the door, I could tell you it was 1952. Then I open the door, and I think Eisenhower's still in there, the 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. There are certain things you just know. You could put blinders on. You could walk in and go, that's a school. 2-1. Bounced foul at the plate, 2-2. And it just had... When I say a cacophony of smells, there are so many different smells in this building. At one point, I thought I was in the perfume department of a department store. The 2-2. Short hopped. 3-2. That's your traditional 50-footer right there. And the count runs full. The count, by the way, does not run full at 3-2. I will get that nitpick out of the way. It is a 3-2 count, but you're repeating yourself when you say the count runs full at 3-2. Here it is. Payoff is bounced foul. We'll do it all over again. O'Hara couldn't come up with it in the on-deck area. There's no on-deck circle. It's just an area. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Most of the umbrellas seem to have disappeared. There's one on the third base side in the bleachers, and it is a nice turnout for this Saturday afternoon game. 2-0 McMahon, second inning. Bounced foul, fighting it off. We'll do it all over again. Ortiz at 3-2. Two runs, 2 hits for McMahon. Nothing so far for the hometown Bears. Payoff. Lined foul, well out in front of it. That clank off the bat. Boy, you just love to hear that be the thump of a wood bat. But we still continue to use the aluminum, at least here in Connecticut. Tried again with a payoff pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Swung and a missed, and it gets away. Pinballs around behind the plate. On it first is Ortiz. Strikeout, wild pitch. First strikeout for Vitito, and there's a runner at first. So the tying run will come to the plate here in the bottom of the second inning. Working from the stretch to face O'Hara, and the pitch fouled at the plate. No balls and a strike. O'Hara, a right-handed hitter. Vitito, the senior, on the mound, toes the rubber, now takes a look, dangles the ball in his right hand, throws over to first, and sliding back safely is Ortiz. O'Hara waves the bat in the right-handed batter's box, now cocks it high. The 0-1, short hopped. No advance by the runner at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out, 2-0. Set at the belt, runner off first. That's upstairs. Backing out of the way is O'Hara, 2 balls and a strike. Can't help but think of other games I've called from inside school buildings where I'm inside and the action is outside. Makes me think of the great Rye Harrison football game. Throw over to first, back safely is Ortiz. Called several of them, but when they played in Harrison at the old Harrison Avenue Elementary School, there really was no room in the press box or bleachers. Pitch is off speed, bounced up the middle. They'll grab it there, go to second for 1. The relay will not be made. Out at second, Ortiz. On at first, O'Hara on the fielder's choice. 4-6 on the putout, 1 away. That'll bring up Montero, right-handed hitter. So our improvisation was to go into the auditorium where there were some angles that you could see part of the football field. This is bounced foul, no balls and a strike. So I called the play-by-play from inside this auditorium, handed Chris Irway a wireless microphone and said, go walk the field. Do some color down there. And then when I couldn't see the field, Chris had to actually do some of the play-by-play. We do it because we love it. The set in the 0-1. Dives outside, but not by much. 1-1. Max Berman on deck. With one out, bottom of the second, a 2-0 McMahon lead. Quick throw over to first, back safely with a snap tag over there by Galis. One ball, one strike. The set and the pitch. A fastball that stayed just above the letters. 2 balls and a strike. Set at the belt, and he brings it home. Slider on the outside corner. 2-2. Giordano plays closer to the bag at short, stands right on the very edge of the quote-unquote outfield grass. Claps behind the bag and off the line at third. Runner off first. Got just a piece of it. We'll do it again at 2-2. There are dugouts, but they're not dug out, of course. They're more like shells, exposed. Pitch on the way, short hopped, but no advance. Count runs full. Both runs for McMahon in the top of the first. Now the set in the 3-2. Strike 3 called. Montero gets the turnaround and take a walk back. Second strikeout of the inning, caught looking, and they're 2 away. I'm going to guess he was looking for a local, and he got a high express throw over to first. Back safely again is O'Hara. Now for a moment, all the umbrellas, save for 1 or 2, are down, and there's almost a hint of brightness in the sky. Pitch is upstairs, 1-0. Berman, right-handed hitter. Vidito, right-handed pitcher. Sawed him off to short, and the toss to second to end the inning. 6-4 on the putout, and the inning comes to an end. No runs, no hits, no errors. A wild pitch, 1 left on base. 2 gone here at Nathan Hale Middle School in Norwalk. McMahon 2, Norwalk nothing. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
Are you hoping winter is finally in our rearview mirror? Can't wait for the air and water temperatures to start rising? Well, if the answer is yes, you need to get over to Darien or Westport and stop by the Dock Shop, where it's always summer. Both shops are being stocked with lots of new merchandise, including fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. At the Dock Shop, you'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Online at dockshop.com. I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
Back at Nathan Hale Middle School, making its debut today. However, the trivia question will not be varsity was the first game to be played here. Oh, no. There was a junior varsity game here at 10:30 when the likes of Sean Saylor and I showed up. I didn't see how that game turned out. We were prepping for this game and trying to have lunch as well, but a wonderful crowd on hand. The third base bleachers pretty much full. The first base bleachers have plenty of activity in it. And then up here on the ridge, right below our quote-unquote press box, spread all the way down the first baseline, are pop tents and fold-up chairs and so on. There are plenty of people here today. Michael Claps will lead things off, followed by Hunter Dumas and Richard Clemens. Third inning, and he swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike. Claps grounded to third in the first. And Gonzalez brings it home. Fastball called strike at the knees. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. McCabe on the outfield turf, and the pitch is lifted foul and out of play, first base side. It'll clank around. Sounded like it might make the roof. 0-2. On occasion, snarky sites such as Deadspin will run what they call a broadcaster bingo, as if these are the things you expect to hear a broadcaster say. The 0-2. Breaking ball, he swings and misses. Now he's going to drop the bat and run. Claps, does run. Montero will make no throw. So once again, for the second time in this game, we have seen a strikeout and a wild pitch as a result. It does not go as an error, however. That does not matter. Wild pitches are not errors. It is simply a wild pitch. Hurts the pitcher in the long run. Here's Hunter Dumas. He's 0 for 1, flied to right his first time. A fastball called strike, 0-1. So I bring up the broadcaster bingo because, you know, you wait for, I don't know, a Bill Raftery to say onions or a double order or things like that. Throw to first, back safely. Whoop, timeout being called. Hang on. Now they're saying, no, he is safe. He is safe. So my first impression was correct. He is safe at first. He stays right there. So I am getting to a point with bringing up broadcaster bingo for the fun of it. No balls and a strike, nobody out. Third inning. Gonzalez throws to first. They've got him this time. Yes! Claps was living dangerously. And he picks him off. He was not moving. That was a pickoff. 1-3 on the putout, and there's one man away. So now Dumas still waiting on an 0-1 pitch. Fastball pushed foul, 0-2. So if you had bingo going with me today, there are a couple of topics you wait for me to get to, and one of them is the first time I bring up that these two teams met in Cooperstown last year. Just about a year ago, if my memory serves, it was April 19th. A Sunday afternoon, and what an adventure that was. The 0-2, he swings and misses, and it's the third strikeout now, and 2 away. That adventure will live with all of us, and for me, one of my favorite weekends, not only as a broadcaster, but really one of my favorite weekends ever. Wasn't a whole lot missing in that experience for me. Curveball doesn't find it. Clemens waits. 1 ball and no strikes. He walked and scored back in the first. 2-0 here. Now the pitch coming. Fastball in the inside corner, 1-1. We had done a game at Harbor Yard that Friday night. I believe it was Ward Ludlow. And then all packed up and went to Cooperstown on Saturday. Sliced foul, first base side, 1-2. Me, ever the baseball geek, the first one to get up to Cooperstown. It was sitting in Doubleday Field long before anyone else showed up. Paul Silverfarb or Marty Hersom and Josh Fisher and Liz Skalka, Tracy Iazi, Eric Gendron, John Kovach. We had a big crew up there. But it was just me sitting there saying, okay, the internet works. We can broadcast from here. It was like a kid in a candy store. 1-2. Bounced foul. We'll do it again. So we ran the wires on Saturday. Went to our hotel that was only supposed to be a few minutes outside of Cooperstown, but ever the road geek that I am, knew that it was about a 40-minute drive. Oh, but we had fun. Did we laugh? The stories we can tell from that, many of which are, frankly, clean. The 1-2 runs inside, 2-2. Wasn't a whole lot to eat for dinner in Herkimer, but we found our chain restaurant du jour, sat and laughed some more, listened to the trains whiz by the hotel near the New York State Thruway. The 2-2 is a high fly ball. in foul ground, now coming over, and yes, putting it away. It was a little more of an adventure for Benincasa than needed to be, but he does put it away. We'll continue with the memories and more as ultimately the Senators go 3 up, 3 down, middle of the third inning in Norwalk. 2-0 McMahon leading the Norwalk Bears. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with the Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
Alberto Londano Professional Painting, Wallpapering, and Carpentry has been serving Fairfield County for over 20 years. Based in Norwalk, Alberto takes pride in his work by offering you only the best quality service and products. Call Alberto today to get a free estimate and be one step closer to a new and exciting home makeover. 203-866-9635.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
Two 2-0 the score as we head into the bottom of the third inning. 2 runs, 2 hits for McMahon. No runs, no hits for the Bears so far. Neither team has committed an error. McMahon has left 2, and Norwalk has left 1 man on base. So to the last of the third we go. Alex Barone will lead things off, the designated hitter, a right-handed hitter. He steps in. He'll face the righty, Jeff Vitito, who brings it home. Breaking ball stays upstairs, 1-0. Of course, I can tell you those stories of Cooperstown until the cows come home because it just was the most fabulous weekend. The 1-0 is low, 2 balls and no strikes, and that has so much to do with being a baseball guy, which I most definitely am. The 2-0 took something off of it, stays upstairs, 3-0. .3-0 pitch on the way. Room service strike on the outer half, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody on, 2-0 game. There's a called strike at the letters. A little bit of a high strike there, and the count runs full. The 3-2 pitch. Pushed to the right side, gobbled up at second by Almonte, who sets and throws 1 out. Eddie O'Hara started that game pitching last year, but it was McMahon who got the better of it, 7-3 up at Doubleday Field. Now Ryan Searles. Searles, a right-handed hitter, with 1 out in the bottom of the third. Vitito brings it home. Breaking ball stays upstairs, 1-0. Among the numerous memories that came out of that weekend, and we really didn't get to see the teams, unfortunately, until they got to Doubleday. And I saw plenty of baseball that weekend. Pitch dives on the outside corner, 1-1. But among the memories, we just happened to be around the ballpark. We had lunch down the road, the 1-1. There's a high fly ball to left in trouble. Going back on his horse, Clemens to the track, to the wall. It hits off the fence. Heading towards second, Searles. He stops, he turns, he rounds. Heading toward third, slides in safely with a triple. So that gives this crowd something to cheer about. A big blast to left center field. Hit right at the fence. And all the way to third goes Searles with a 1-out triple. Top of the order now for Ed McCabe. He's 0 for 1. Swings and fouls it at the plate. 0-1. McCabe, he is the tying run. But I remember getting to Doubleday Field, and we began to hear chatter. I believe it was supposed to be a 5:30 start. And if my memory serves, we started hearing, as this is bounced to the left side, charging to grab it at third is Claps, throws to first. The run scores. It's a 2-1 ball game. So getting the job done there, McCabe with the RBI, and that cuts the lead in half. 2 away now for Reed Singerwald, who's 0 for 1. He flied to right his first time. And the pitch coming. Pulls it, grabbed it second, sliding grab Almonte. What a play! Pumped up is Almonte, and the inning does come to an end. However, Norwalk does get on the scoreboard. They get a run on a hit with no errors and nobody left on base. Nice play by Wadi Almonte at second. 3 in the books now. We've got a good one here on opening day. McMahon 2, Norwalk 1. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN network.
For over 25 years, Mike Cizik Painting and Wallpapering has been the name to know for residential and commercial properties in Fairfield County. He uses only the top brands, including Benjamin Moore, for impeccable preparation and lasting quality. Call Mike now and receive $500 off any job over $7,000. Mike is currently accepting reservations for spring, so call him today at 203-770-8869 or 203-972-3310. For your custom painting, finishing, and staining needs, it's Mike Cizik.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN network.
On to the top of the 4th inning, 2-1 now the score. Andrew Matthews, Matthew Galis, and Anthony Sochi due up for Brien McMahon against Mike Gonzalez. Gonzalez overall has settled down since a shaky first inning. He's at 52 pitches after 3. So, of course, for us who work on a fairly regimented schedule, when you're expecting a 5:30 start time and you start hearing, I want to say it was even an hour early, there's that look of panic that goes on among all of us. But we had run all the wires and we were ready to go. We ran around, got the cameras hooked up, got the lineups. In the end, it was pretty reasonable. Pitch is a called strike in the inside corner, 0-1. But it was more a result of somebody having head to the ballpark after lunch and saying, we're hearing they're going to start the game early. So we all said giddy up, got there. We were set, but pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the stars themselves were the guys you see on the field, many of whom are out there right now. At that ballpark that opened in 1937, the 1-1 fastball inside, 2 balls and a strike. And you think about it, guys like Babe Ruth once played there. In exhibition games, but still, tons of major leaguers played at that ballpark. The 2-1 fastball runs inside, 3 balls and a strike. I literally begged on the air for months for somebody to go back up there just so we could go up and do it again. We really did have such a great time. And then Monday was one of those days where initiative and survival was what it was all about. That's in the dirt ball 4. Down to first goes Matthews. That's walk number 3. And it'll bring up Matt Galis. He grounded to third his first time. That Monday, again, last year up in Cooperstown, it was rainy, raw, cold. Gonzalez takes a look over at first. Matthews off there. Pitch coming. Bounced foul. No balls and a strike. And we still had to do coffee break, and we were going to do it on site. We were going to do it from our hotel up in Herkimer, New York. But don't you know, we lost power. And we're all sitting in the fairly dark in a kind of little lunchroom. This goes upstairs on to second without a throw. Goes Matthews. It's a wild pitch. 2 balls and a strike. So necessity being the mother of invention, as we'll get a visit to the mound by the Norwalk pitching coach. We all tried to come up with a place where we could do coffee break from, and in the end, I began to race down to Cooperstown, again, about a 40-minute drive. And as I'm racing to Cooperstown, I get a call from Tracy Iazzi saying, okay, forget that game plan. Now turn and go to Brewery Omegang, which is just south of Cooperstown. And that's where Josh and John and I did coffee break that morning. And then for Nutmeg Sports, we still had more adventures. We turned it into an audio broadcast with John Kovach and I sitting on the veranda of the Otesaga Hotel, just talking sports for about an hour, like a couple of old guys in rocking chairs. I can never thank Norwalk and McMahon enough for giving us all that opportunity a year ago. 2-1 game, runner off second. This is bunted foul. 2-2. A runner off second. 2-1 game. McMahon on top of Norwalk. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. 4th inning. That runs inside and hits him. Galis down to first on the hit by pitch. And from the Norwalk bench, I heard those classic 3 words. We've got ice. Down to first on the hit by pitch goes Galis. It'll bring up Anthony Sochi, who lined to first his first time. Right-handed hitter. Not entirely common to see a catcher wear number 2, but he does so here. Even with the bag at third is O'Hara. In on the quote-unquote grass at first, and the pitch misses 1-0 is Searles. The chant, Sochi, from the McMahon bench. And the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, went to bunt. Did it touch the bat? It apparently did not. So each man moves up 90. You can take the bunt off there. It's 1-1. And what, again, would in theory have to go as a wild pitch. That would be the 4th now offered by Gonzalez. Can't put it on the rain at this point. The rain has stopped. The mound largely looks like it can be worked with. I'm not going to try to tell you it's dry as a right-hander begins to twirl in the Norwalk bullpen. We told you temperatures in the 40s when we started. 46 to be exact. As always, we are very social media involved. Not only as a company, but at personal accounts. Here's the 1-1 pitch with runners off second and third, and down goes Sochi. 2 balls and a strike. You can find our company accounts at HAN Network CT. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're working on getting a little more into Snapchat. I have a personal account. I don't know the first thing about it. Here's the 2-1. Fastball runs inside, 3-1. We're still on Facebook. Personally, I'm on Twitter at Double5 if you are so inclined to want to see whatever idiocy I offer up out there. And Instagram as well. This is lifted foul back behind the plate. 3-2. I'm certainly happy to connect with everyone. Had a lot of fun doing that during the FCAC basketball playoffs and the championship especially. Called strike 3. Just a hard fastball at the belt, and Sochi is rung up, one away. That's strikeout number 4 for Gonzalez. And it'll bring up Chris Giordano, who struck out in the second. Left-handed batter with Griffin Root on deck. Runners off second and third. Pitch bounces away. Coming off third is the runner to throw to the plate. He's a dead duck. Matthews did not get a good break coming down the line. That has to be a snap decision, and the ball did not get very far from Montero. So Matthews out. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. 2-1 on that putout. They'll talk things over on the mound, giving me a chance to catch up with the scorecard, which I long believe is a work of art. And very personal. You have to have your own scoring style because you need to know what you're writing. Giordano will wait on a 1-0 pitch. Cocks the bat in the left-handed batter's box. Takes a fastball low. 2-0. John Kovac has borrowed scorecards of mine so he can write news stories off of them, and he's said it's fairly easy to understand what I write, which is good. But it always brings to mind the old Phil Rizzuto story. Fastball in the inside corner, 2-1. Rizzuto, of course, was known to kind of let his mind wander a bit during broadcasts. The 2-1 pitch with 2 out. Pulled to the right side, gobbled up there by Benincasa, throws on to first for the last out. Well, if Rizzuto wasn't watching, that's what he'd write, WW. However, I was watching. 4-3 on the putout, and the inning comes to an end. In the end, no runs for McMahon. That is big. They leave 1. We head now to inning number 5 in Norwalk. 2-1 McMahon on top of the Bears. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
At the Sylvan Learning Center of Darien, experienced teachers and personalized academic support equals superior results. Our certified teachers uncover skill gaps, address specific needs, and help students realize greater academic success and increased confidence. We're enrolling now. Individualized after-school tutoring in reading, math, history, elementary math, algebra, geometry, calculus, high school science, and study skills. For a free consultation, call 203-655-3276 or email gmcsylvan@gmail.com.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure every Thursday at 2 on the HAN Network.
I misspoke, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. We're through 3.5. We go to the bottom of the 4th. I'm Rob Adams here at Nathan Hale Middle School, making its grand debut today, and we're happy to have it for you on the HAN Network. So grateful to both athletic directors as we start the bottom of the 4th, and Gonzalez lines it into left field. It's a leadoff base hit. They always say help yourself, and Gonzalez helps himself right there with a leadoff single. And the sun comes out almost on cue. At least a sign of some sunlight for now. So 1 on and nobody out. That's the tying run. Here's Mo Ortiz. He struck out in the second, but reached on a wild pitch. Opens his stance, right-handed batter, and the righty Vitito serves it foul and out of play, first base side, 0-1. Of course, you know the old saying in high school baseball, you can't keep the baseball. Got to get it right back into the field. No balls, 1 strike. Outfield gives him plenty of room, though straightaway throw to first, and he's back safely. Dancing around is Galis. He wanted the call, didn't get it. Vidito with a wry smile and then pounds the ball back into his glove. Hit number 2 for the Bears. Now a throw to first and back safely, more conventionally, is Gonzalez. Righty-righty matchup with Ortiz at the plate. He bunts, deadens it, but it rolls foul with a little hop first base side. And it's 0-2. This, of course, a non-conference game. They will play a conference game later in the regular season, is what I awkwardly tried to say to you. So let's do it again. Set at the belt, and he brings it home. Pulled, foul. Pete Tucci will let that bounce by. 0-2. Pete Tucci and John Cross both have done this a few years now. Coach Tucci, one of the deans of FCAC baseball. As I drove here this morning, I came in off I-95, exit 16. The 0-2 on the way. It's in the dirt, no advance. And I turned at City Hall to come up here to the ballpark. And I couldn't help but think of the words of Frank Sinatra as I looked at City Hall Ballpark, where the Bears played for many years. This is pulled foul. Played in foul ground by Claps. He throws it back in. There used to be a ballpark. Well, there used to be a ballpark over at City Hall. Looks like the scoreboard is gone. And they'll probably continue to play youth ball and some other stuff there, but here's the throw to first. This is the home of the Bears now. And Doug Marchetti, the AD, very proud of this place. The 0-2. High fly ball off third. Claps, giving it a look, now setting himself and makes the catch. That's the first out of the inning, no advance by Gonzalez. What he had to do was go feel for that fence. There is fencing all around the perimeter of this ballpark. There's plenty of room, although it does tail as you get further down the outfield lines. But he felt for the fence, and then it began to tail back in toward the ballpark, and he was able to grab it. Fastball upstairs to O'Hara, good snap, but it's 1 ball and no strikes. Joe Matafari, the longtime AD, of course, at McMahon as well. This is in the dirt, no advance. 2 balls and no strikes. And both these guys, they're among some of these great FCAC athletic directors. They all just do it right, and they are just phenomenal to us. Swung and a missed, pitch low. 2 balls and a strike. O'Hara is 0 for 1. He did reach in a fielder's choice. Marco Montero is on deck. 2-1 ball game, tying run at first. Fastball misses away, 3-1. Jeff Vidito has allowed 1 run on 2 base hits so far, as we're in the bottom of the 4th. The high set. Now he brings it down to the belt, and it's on the outside corner. 3-2. So O'Hara, wearing that block style number 8, takes a look down at Pete Tucci, who coaches well over near the fencing. Now the pitch. Leans at it, and it goes out to a diving Almonte, who sets and fires to get him. Almonte's putting on a show. 4-3 on the putout. To second goes Gonzalez. Gonzalez was on the move, so Almonte was ranging towards second, had to stop, set, dive back to his left, snag the ball, and throw it to first. All in a matter of seconds, nothing to it. 2 away from Montero, who's caught looking back in the 2nd inning. McMahon got 2 in the first on a hit. The big one was a triple by Andrew Matthews, but the other run came home as a result of a wild pitch. Fastball misses upstairs to Montero, 1-0. The Bears got a manufactured run, a triple by Searles, and then a ground ball by McCabe. That was in the third. And that's where we stand, 2-1 with the tying run off second. Montero, slightly open stance, holds the bat on his right shoulder. Vitito brings it home, swinging and missing at a slider that was diving. 1-1. Indeed, Annie, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. 2-1 ball game. Vitito at the belt, brings it home. Bounced to the left side of the plate. Gobbled, set, fire, safe. On to third, Gonzalez. Safe at first, Montero. It's an infield single. You can't give an error. Vitito went over from off the mound while Claps came in from third. He's playing back, and it just hit that dead zone. Collected there by Vitito, threw across, but speed down the line for Montero, and it's runners at the corners, and 2 men out for Max Berman, who grounded the short his first time. Now Berman heads back toward the dugout. The machinations of baseball going on. And we will get a pinch runner. So our first courtesy runner of the day, because you can have the re-entry rule. And I will let you know who that is. It might not matter. Line to right, and a diving catch in right field by Griffin Root. Saves at least 1, if not 2. Does that bring this place to its feet? You bet it does. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. Now we go to the 5th inning. We're having a day here in Norwalk. 2-1 the score. McMahon on top on the HAN Network.
Can't wait for it to get warmer so you can start fishing again? Get over to the Dock Shop, where they have the latest in fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. You'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Alberto Londano Professional Painting, Wallpapering, and Carpentry has been serving Fairfield County for over 20 years. Based in Norwalk, Alberto takes pride in his work by offering you only the best quality service and products. Call Alberto today to get a free estimate and be one step closer to a new and exciting home makeover. 203-866-9635.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
Now we go to inning number 5. Play still buzzing off that play. And right, we have seen some defense by Norwalk, or by McMahon, I beg your pardon, today. Griffin Root will lead things off here in the 5th inning, and I believe he's doing it against a new pitcher. He is. I will check my roster to find out who that new twirler is, as Gonzalez ultimately will go 4. The new pitcher now is Liam Notley. A right-hander will take over. We will get the digits for Gonzalez when time allows. I can tell you 72 pitches in 4 innings of work. He can only lose it. He cannot win it. Actually, it shouldn't be a very hard scorecard to do. 2 runs. Both should be earned on what I believe is 2 base hits. The toughest thing is the wild pitches. He had 4 of them. He also had 4 strikeouts, hit a batter, and in the end, he walked 3. So for Gonzalez, not the way he wanted to start his season. We will reset defensively when time allows. But let's start the 5th. Fastball swung and a missed with a little bit of a tail. Maybe a 2-seamer, nothing in 1. Root 1 for 1, singled his first time. Now stepping in against Notley. Called strike. Nothing in 2. We will survey the defense to see if there are any other changes to talk about. No balls, 2 strikes. 2-1 ball game. Dives outside. 1 and 2. The 1-2 with nobody out. Soft pop-up, and they collide, but it's ultimately the pitcher who grabs it, and that is that rare F1 on your scorecard. You don't often see the pitcher make the play. So I can confirm now that Gonzalez has gone over to first. He had ranged over to make the play. If I spy any other changes, I'll let you know, but that's it for the moment. Pitch to Almonte, dives inside at the knees, or beg your pardon, down near the ankles, 1-0. Walked and scored his first time, scoring that run on a wild pitch. The 1-0 swings and pops it foul, back behind the plate, 1-1. He made sure to tell me on the FCAC tour, he was one of our very first interviews this go-around, as I think McMahon brought the 27 Yankees with them as well. We had 6 interviews with us that day. Pulled to first. Gonzalez boots it there, grabbed it second. The throw, is it in time? Got him! That goes down as a 3-4-3. How about that for a rare scorecard note? It bounced off of the first baseman, Gonzalez, bounced away to Benincasa at second, who sets and throws and got him. 3-4-3, 2 out. It'll bring up Claps. Takes a called strike, 0-1. The inning going so fast. All I wanted to tell you was Almonte just said, by the way, it's Waddy. Just so you know how to pronounce it for the future. Here's the 0-1 from Notley. Breaking ball, pulled down the line. It's a fair ball. Rounding first, Claps. He will stay right there as it's collected quickly by Berman. A 2-out single and hit number 3 for the Senators, who still lead 2-1. You would think with all the activity we've had, there would be more hits on the scoreboard, but I'm looking, and that is the case. Hit number 3. A high set, now he brings it down to the belt, and Notley brings it home, breaking ball, backdoors in, no balls and a strike. Hunter Dumas is 0 for 2. Flied to right and struck out. Takes a look at first, does Notley. Now he sets. Runner off first in a 2-1 ball game, and a slider dives away. In the dirt and blocked by Montero. It's a ball and a strike with 2 away. The high set. Now he brings it down to the belt, brings it home. Fastball upstairs, 2-1. I said today is one of the best days in the year. Monday, another great day. If you don't know why, I'll explain. Fastball, that's low. 3-1 with 2 out. Monday is Major League Baseball's opening day. Don't tell me it's tomorrow. Yes, I know the Mets will play tomorrow, among others. They'll play the Royals. There are 3 games tomorrow, or 4, or whatever. All manufactured for ESPN. Swung on and missed. And Dumas now faces a 3-2 pitch. But Monday's the real day that everybody gets going. I don't care what the weather's like. They'll play baseball. They might not play it in the Bronx, but so it goes. But that's when it just all feels fresh and new again. Payoff pitch. Little breaking ball, lifted foul, coming off to our left. Bouncing harmlessly 3-2. So if you're playing broadcaster bingo, this is the point that I will now mention. Right around 4:05 Monday afternoon, Vincent Edward Scully begins year number 67. Fastball low, ball 4. So you can check that off your scorecard. Down to second goes Claps. Scully, of course, the voice of the Dodgers since 1950. He says this is his final year. He will be 89 in November. Can you say he's lost a step? Yeah, you can. But boy, that's a step I'd love to lose. Breaking ball pulled foul by Richard Clemens, who walked and scored in the first. He also popped to second. No balls and a strike. And I have every intention of watching and listening to as much as I can with the final game coming in San Francisco at the end of the baseball season. The 0-1 in the dirt, short hop by Montero, no advance by the runners, a ball and a strike. What a career. 23 no-hitters, including 3 perfect games. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball. Pulled to the left side, bounced there, taken by McCabe to second. They go the short way, and the inning comes to an end. A lot of activity, but nothing across when all was said and done. No runs, a hit, a walk, no errors, 2 left. We move on now into the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 our score. McMahon on top of Norwalk. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with the Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network. Alex Barone takes a pitch low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Rob Adams with you back here at Nathan Hale Middle School. 2-1. McMahon on top of Norwalk. Fastball swung and missed, and it's 1-1. It's been a game of defense. And it's been a game of some wild pitches, some opening day jitters perhaps. And it's been a fun game. Not everyone likes this kind of game. The more modern day fan wants activity. This is popped at the plate and snagged right there by Sochi, 1 away. But for my money, give me a good close ball game. Ryan Searles now He waits. Fastball upstairs from Vitito, 1-0. Dan Gardella checking us out today. Swung and missed as Searles, 1-1. We will see Dan again. Dan will be back out on the road with us. They said he's checking us out. Everything looks good. Pitch on the way on the outside corner. Pitch had a tail to it, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Scoreboard says 2-2. I have it as 1-2, but it won't matter. Bounce to the left side, charging, grabbing, claps onto first. No, safe. Gonna rule that an infield hit. And it'll bring up the top of the order. Back to the top of the order for McCabe. 0 for 2. I'll keep an eye on the runner at first. McCabe, the shortstop, in a righty-righty matchup, takes a fastball at the belt on the outside corner, 0-1. If by any chance you're having any problems with the stream, the first thing I always advise is that you reload your browser wherever you are, your smartphone, your computer, your tablet, your carrier pigeon. Just reset it. Throw to first, back safely is Searles. I know we've had someone going back and forth with us on Twitter today having some issues with the stream, but for the most part, everybody seems to be happy. This swung on and missed. 0-2. But safest bet, just reset it. Shut it down if you need to. And we're still here. The game will be put up online. You can watch it again in the archive. Now the 0-2. High and outside, runner goes. First stolen base will be, as it goes into center field. Safe at second is Searles. We had not had a stolen base, but that is the first one of the game. And McCabe with life, it's 1-2. So the tying run in scoring position. And 1 out. Vitito at the belt, brings it home. Checked his swing, it's low. Again, scoreboard has it as 1-2. I have it as 2-2. Umpire says 2-2. Thank you to the gentleman in black behind the plate. He gets the final say. 2-2. Ooh, just missed a touch high. 3-2. Good snap on the fastball. Three balls, 2 strikes, and a 2-1 ball game. McMahon with the lead. 1 out. 5th inning. Swung on and missed. Down goes McCabe, and that is a big strikeout for Vitito. It brings the second out of the inning, and it's strikeout number 3 for the right-hander. One ball and no strikes now to Singerwald. He flied to right and grounded to second. He swings, bounces it to the right side. Waiting right at the bag to touch it is Galis. And Vitito and the Senators get out of trouble, stranding the runner in scoring position. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. The Bears have stranded 4, 5 gone here at Nathan Hale. McMahon 2, Norwalk 1. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
What's happening up in Hartford and what's trending in the Nutmeg State?
Join Kate Czaplinski
And Josh Fisher
on CT Pulse live Wednesdays at 12:30 to find out.
We talk to the leaders and newsmakers while breaking down the stories you should be paying attention to each week.
With the help of HAN's editorial cartoonist Doug Smith, we take a humorous look at the news of the week. We talk about everything you were told you should avoid bringing up in polite company.
CT Pulse, Wednesdays at 12:30 on the HAN Network.
Breezy day, but the rain is gone here at Nathan Hale Middle School. This facility, of course, the school itself dates back to 1952. I had a chance to kind of look around here a little bit and found the board with all the facts just inside the front door. But these fields are brand new. The baseball field getting its first game action, while the football / lacrosse / soccer field, that's what I'm trying to say, down to our left, not a varsity field, that's still Sam Testa Field back at Norwalk High School. But it will get plenty of activity. Temperature at 48 degrees now as we play here. Wind out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Taking a look, O'Hara goes back at third, McCabe at short, Benincasa at second, and Gonzalez stays at first. Now a lefty takes the hill for Norwalk following Natley's one inning of work. Let you know who that is in a moment. Little pop to third. Grabbed by O'Hara, rockets it across, and very quickly gone on one pitch is Andrew Matthews. We barely knew ye, one away. So nobody on and one out for Matthew Galis, who's 0 for 1. He was also hit by a pitch. Lefty-righty matchup, and he fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. That is Ryan Searles on the hill. So Searles, the third of the afternoon for Pete Tucci. And the lefty, ready to bring home his 0-1. Called strike at the letters, 0-2. Good fastball and a good snap from Searles. Natley went an inning. Keep saying Natley, I mean Notley. The 0-2. Off speed, 1-2. 19 pitches in that one inning of work. It was eventful, however, no damage done. No runs. Grounded to third. O'Hara waits, throws, got him, 2 out. Back-to-back 5-3s on your scorecard and 2 away for Anthony Sochi. I mentioned my nephew is here today, keeping me company and watching the game, and I said to him at one point, as he's asking me about some of the notes on my scorecard, I said, I've let you down as an uncle. I trained you well to be a Yankee fan, and we've talked sports 1,000 times. I never educated him on the art of scorekeeping. Thus, I have failed my family. Soft liner to right. Back on the outfield, quote-unquote, grass has been Benincasa to put it away, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. Little pop-up to the second baseman. Nothing across here in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning now. 2-1, McMahon on top of Norwalk. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with the Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Welcome back to Nathan Hale Middle School. Andrew Matthews is going to take over on the mound now for the Senators, as Jeff Vitito will go 5. He threw 86 pitches, so pitch count was getting up there. Allowed the 1 run, and it will be earned on 4 base hits. Walked nobody, struck out 3. Didn't hit anyone. And one of his keys was he had 1 wild pitch, but overall a very controlled start for Vitito. And now Matthews on in relief. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mike Gonzalez is going to lead things off. He's 1 for 2. Popped to center his first time and singled. Was stranded at third. Mo Ortiz will follow, and Eddie O'Hara to round out the last of the 6th. Galis and Matthews talk things over. Matthews had been the designated hitter, so there's no damage done in the lineup. Now, Sochi trots out, and they'll get on the same page. Again, the sun appears from time to time and then goes right back behind the clouds. Hopefully by this point we've given you a good solid picture of these McMahon hats, by the way. A high fly ball to center, but not deep. Dumas, in his tracks, puts it away, 1 out. I know our friend Scott Erickson has tweeted pictures. We've tweeted pictures as well of those hats. It is 3/4 blue panel and then a white panel up front with a red brim and a Senators logo, a cartoon, as the mascot. Pitch is low and away to Ortiz, 1-0. At a quick glance, you might even think it might be a form of a Yankee hat. Why? This is low as well with a fastball, 2-0. Because there's a sense of that caricature almost looking like Uncle Sam, which has kind of been an extended Yankees mascot, although never officially. The 2-0. A room service strike, 2-1. So I'm on record looking for a Senators hat. Here's the 2-1. Lined and grabbed by Almonte. Might be the easiest play of the day he's had. 2 out. It'll bring up Ed O'Hara. It's still a 2-1 game, but despite the threats, you just get the sense that the dam is not going to bust open. It's a run on 4 hits for McMahon. And the pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Back with you on Tuesday for girls lacrosse at 4. Low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. No game Monday. It was initially on our schedule. We just could not make it happen at Fairfield Prep. Disappointing for all of us, for sure, the 1-1. Fouled straight back, 1-2. So John Jay of New York, the Indians, will come calling on the New Canaan Rams. Not surprisingly, there are no Native American mascots in the FCAC, and really not many in Fairfield County. However, there are 2 in Section 1 of New York. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is called strike 3. The inning quickly comes to an end. 3 up, 3 down. We're through 6 now in Norwalk at the brand new Nathan Hale Middle School field. After 6, McMahon 2, Norwalk 1. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
The HAN Network travels all over Fairfield County in our HAN Cruiser, covering news, sports, and entertainment.
And when we do, we make sure that our HAN Network branded floor mats are with us to keep the dust and dirt outside.
These mats get filthy, and there's only one company that can get rid of that kind of dirt.
Triple S, with locations all over Fairfield County. We're just now pulling into their Stanford facility. Rob, let's go see if Steve and Wanda can clean these mats up.
Wanda, Steve, literally thousands of feet have walked across our mats in the last 5 months in wind, rain, mud, more.
Is there any way you could make these mats look like new again?
No problem.
That's what we do here. Come on in.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
On to the 7th inning we go. Chris Giordano is going to lead things off for the Brien McMahon Senators, followed by Griffin Root and Wadi Almonte. Giordano, left-handed hitter, is 0 for 2. Struck out in the 2nd and grounded to 2nd in the 4th. And the left-hander Searles brings it low, 1-0. He throws hard. Still a 2-1 ball game. Breaking ball stays high. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 runs for the Senators in the first. 1 on a wild pitch, and the other one on a triple by Andrew Matthews. The Bears got a run back in the 3rd, but that's been it. Fastball called strike at the letters, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike with Root waiting on deck. That dives away, 2-2, or 3-1, excuse me. Interesting how the Norwalk coaches, who have the third base dugout, stand on the field side of the fence. 3-1. On the inside corner, 3-2. So Pete Tucci and his staff all outside the fence or lingering right outside the opening. Payoff pitch. High, ball 4. First walk allowed by Searles, and it'll bring up Griffin Root, who's 1 for 2. Singled in the 2nd and popped to the mound in the 5th. Again, we will put a cap on the spring edition of the FCAC Tour on Monday. Pitch on the way, shows bunt, does bunt. Rolling to the third base side of the mound, O'Hara will get the runner. Rounding second, a little dangerously, but holding on with no harm is Giordano. So the sacrifice is successful. It goes 5-3. On to second, Giordano, 1 away. In the top of the order, Wadi Almonte. Walked in the 1st and scored a run, grounded back to the mound in the 2nd, and grounded into an unconventional 3-4-3 putout in the 5th. Now John Cross comes down the line, talks to the home plate umpire because we are going to get a pinch runner. Mike McCary will trot out to run for Giordano. Scorekeeping always a treat, especially in high school baseball with re-entry rules. Fouled off, sliced third base side, 0-1. Two runs, 3 hits for McMahon, a run on 4 hits for Norwalk. Errorless game. The lefty toes the rubber. The 0-1 with a runner off second. Back to the mound. Taking a look, they throw to second and throw it into center field. Sliding to grab it to make sure no advance is Hunter Dumont, is Mo Ortiz. Now it's runners at the corners, and there's your first error of the ball game. Now it has to go as a fielder's choice, but then it turns to an E1. On to third goes Macari, safe at first, Almonte, and Pete Tucci taking a very leisurely stroll to the mound. Head down, talking, now he looks. Holding his hand up is Montero, and now the infield will gather with runners at the corners and 1 man out. And the sun making a little more of an impact on this day. You can hear me grabbing the crowd microphone. That is still somewhat damp. But for the most part, everything is dried up for the moment. But since I will no doubt be accused of jinxing the errorless ball game, I will now be accused of jinxing the weather with the statement that the microphone is drying. It's the nature of the beast. Throw to first and no advance by the runner there. That's Almonte at first and Macari off third. And Michael Claps at the plate. Shows bunt, pulls it back. It's no balls and a strike. Claps grounded to third in the first. Reached on a wild pitch, though he struck out in the third and singled in the fifth. Now here he is in the top of the 7th with runners at the corners. He swings a fly ball, a liner to right center field. This is going to split the defenders. 1 run will score Macari. Almonte chugging around. He will come toward the plate. The throw in time. Got him. And he clearly ran through a stop sign that John Cross had at third, and the coach coming down the line with a few words for Almonte. Cross clearly had the stop sign up, so that is the 2nd out of the inning. For Claps, it's a double. He gets an RBI. For Almonte, he is cut down at the plate. But the run does score, and it's 3-1. And a breaking ball stays high to Dumas, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, 1-0. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll go 8-4-2 on the putout of the plate of Almonte. Pitches a called strike, a breaking ball, 1-1. I could see John Cross, the hands right down kind of near his sides, but putting up the stop sign, and it's a very universal sign. 2 hands, palms wide open. Almonte chugged right around and ran right through it. So it goes. It's a 3-1 ball game. The high set now, and he brings it home. Lifted, foul, back behind the plate, 1-2. So Searles on the hook for the run here as it hits the scoreboard now in the 7th. What had been a 2-1 nail-biter is now a little more wide open. Pitches in the dirt and gets away. Heading down to third, Claps. And Dumas now waiting on a 2-2. That is the 5th wild pitch for Norwalk pitching today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. A 3-1 ball game. 1 run in here in the 7th. Checked his swing. Did he go? Did not. 3-2. A glance at the bottom of the 7th inning. Says Montero, Berman, and Barone for Norwalk, their last hope. Payoff with 2 out. Low, ball 4. So Dumas walks for the 2nd time today. And the 2nd walk of the inning. And what's that old adage in baseball? Never walk the leadoff man. That's the run that is scored here in the 7th. Now Richard Clemens walked in the 1st and scored a run. Popped to 2nd in the 3rd and grounded to short in the 5th. A right-handed hitter with Claps off first, and Searles, the lefty, who works from the stretch, throws over, back safely with no advance, is Dumas. Top of the 7th in Norwalk. McMahon with a run here to make it 3-1. Fastball high, 1-0. Programming-wise, things have been a little different for us the past week or so. This is bounced foul, ricochets up and hits Clemens. He seems to be okay, a ball and a strike. And the same will go for Monday. No live edition of Nutmeg Sports, no live edition of Coffee Break. However, we will fill up your stream with things like Coffee Break updates from the road as we hit the road for the final day of the FCAC Tour. The 1-1. Fastball called strike at the knees. Fake of a throw as down to 2nd goes Dumas. Give him the stolen base, inclined to give defensive indifference, but with the fake of a throw, I'm not so quick to say it's defensive indifference in that spot. But your mileage may vary. 1-2. Lifted foul, first base side. Great crowd down the first base line. They all take a look at it and watch it fly over their heads. Stays 1-2. All gets back to normal for us on Tuesday. But Monday, one more day of the FCAC Tour. Fairfield Ward and Fairfield Ludlow, we're coming to you. 1-2. An excuse me swing, just got a piece of it and bounced a foul at the plate, and it stays 1-2. Keep in mind, a high wind warning is supposed to be coming into the area, so one good thing about getting the games over with, pitch on the way. Upstairs, 2-2. And the pitch coming. Searles taking a look. Brings it home, it's inside, 3-2. Runners off 2nd and 3rd. Top of the 7th with a run in, 3-1, McMahon leading Norwalk. And the 3-2. Bounce right back to Searles. He wheels and fires. Not an easy throw, but Gonzalez does make the play. It'll look pretty in the scorecard, 1-3, but not so pretty in reality. 1 run for McMahon, and they do it on 1 base hit. There was an error, and 2 left on base. Last chance for the Norwalk Bears in the bottom of the 7th. 3-1 McMahon. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcast in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Matthews back for the bottom of the 7th inning. A 3-1 ball game. By and large, CT Base has been dominated on Twitter by this game today. I see nothing from that Darien game, so if it has happened, I can't tell you. Everything else had been canceled or postponed to be exact, but if any of the crew here at Room 214 has an indication of anything they've seen about the Darien game, let us know, and we will school you on that information. AJ Simonowski giving me a thumbs up saying he appreciated that pun. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Marco Montero will lead things off. He'll be followed by Max Berman and Alex Barone. The Norwalk Bears now chasing 2, down 3-1. Last of the 7th and last licks for the guys in the white pinstripes. White and green pinstripes, I should say. Montero, 1 for 2. A strikeout victim, and he singled. Takes the first pitch, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Matthews rocks and deals. Upstairs with a good fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Pitching styles have changed over the years. Deliveries have changed, but watch Matthews right here. This is classic. Cranks the leg cock and boom. Swung and a missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. Not everybody does the high leg kick anymore, but the torque that comes out of that, really cool. Watch this. 2-1. Misses high. McMahon bench didn't like it. 3 balls and a strike. They need base runners, do the Bears. Not many do the hands up over the head, that kind of overhead wind up. 3-1 on the outside corner, fastball 3-2. You don't see that as much anymore. It's the no wind-up delivery in this day and age. Many do go for the wind-up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Fastball right back up the middle, ranging over, grabbing it behind the bag is Giordano, and he throws him out, 1 away. Hit it well, but couldn't get it through the infield, so nobody on and 1 man out for Max Berman, who's 0 for 2, grounded to short and line to right. Righty-righty matchup. He swings and bounces it foul. Pete Tucci will give it a look. Bobbled it, picks it up, tosses it right back in. No balls and a strike. Next baseball game is a week from Monday. For us, that is. For many of you, well, you'll have games all throughout the week. The 0-1. Breaking ball, swung and a missed. Really pulled the string on him on a nasty curve, 0-2. We will go to Cubetta Stadium on Monday the 11th. The 0-2. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That may be bad news to some of you in Norwalk. I don't know if Pete Tucci and company are going to want to see us again. Norwalk and Trinity Catholic a week from Monday at Cubetta Stadium. Breaking ball called, strike 3, down he goes. Strikeout number 2 for Matthews, and the Bears down to their last chance with Alex Barone. Grounded to second and popped to the plate. And the pitch on the way. Fastball, called strike, 0-1. Crowd begins to buzz. The 0-1. Line to center in his tracks. Climbing up and making the catch is Hunter Dumas, and the ball game is over. The teams will shake hands, and the Brien McMahon Senators grab the first win of the 2016 baseball season as the Bears go quietly here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nothing across for the Bears. The final score, McMahon 3, Norwalk 1. Back with the totals and a recap right after this. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network. It was a great game, but it got messy at the end. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate, back to you.
Thanks, Rob. Well, speaking of messy, here's a story about how Triple S cleaned up a big problem for the HAN network. Eric, let's roll that footage.
The HAN network travels all over Fairfield County in our HAN Cruiser, covering news, sports, and entertainment.
And when we do, we make sure that our HAN network branded floor mats are with us to keep the dust and dirt outside.
These mats get filthy, and there's only one company that can get rid of that kind of dirt.
Triple S, with locations all over Fairfield County, we're just now pulling into their Stanford facility. Rob, let's go see if Steve and Wanda can clean these mats up.
Wanda, Steve, literally thousands of feet have walked across our mats in the last 5 months in wind, rain, mud, more.
Is there any way you could make these mats look like new again?
No problem.
That's what we do here. Come on in.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000. A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
Alberto Londano Professional Painting, Wallpapering, and Carpentry has been serving Fairfield County for over 20 years. Based in Norwalk, Alberto takes pride in his work by offering you only the best quality service and products. Call Alberto today to get a free estimate and be one step closer to a new and exciting home makeover. 203-866-9635.
For over 25 years, Mike Cizik Painting and Wallpapering has been the name to know for residential and commercial properties in Fairfield County. He uses only the top brands, including Benjamin Moore, for impeccable preparation and lasting quality. Call Mike now and receive $500 off any job over $7,000. Mike is currently accepting reservations for spring, so call him today at 203-770-8869 or 203-972-3310. For your custom painting, finishing, and staining needs, it's Mike Cizik.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Back at the brand new field at Nathan Hale Middle School, Rob Adams with you with our entire crew here on the HAN Network. Final score, 3-1. McMahon knocks off Norwalk. Obviously, this being opening day for McMahon, they are 1-0. Norwalk now 0-1. For the FCAC, of course, neither team suffers any damage. It's a non-conference game. They will play again during the regular season. But a game that if you like defense, if you like good close-scoring game, then it's that kind of a game. It was not a sexy kind of offensive explosion type of game. Just was not that type of a day. Recapping the scoring for you, Wadi Almonte led off with a 4-pitch walk, and he promptly came around and scored on a wild pitch because Michael Claps grounded to third, and that was a big play at the time. At third, Eddie O'Hara kind of bobbled it. It gave Almonte the chance to get to second. No double play, but Almonte also with speed, and you can't assume the double play. So Almonte to second, moved to third on a fly ball to right off the bat of Hunter Dumas. A nice play in right center field made by Reed Singerwall, but that moved the runner up to third, and then he came on to score on the wild pitch. Richard Clemens walked on a 3-2 pitch. It was 1-0 there. And then Andrew Matthews, a triple to center field. Mo Ortiz started in, and the ball went over his head on a line. On to third came Matthews. Scoring was Clemens. It was 2-0 after a half inning of play. And it stayed that way all the way until we got into the bottom of the third inning. In the third, Alex Barone led off with a grounder to second. But up came Ryan Searles. He tripled, and that put him at third. Up came Ed McCabe with one out. And just a nice professional piece of hitting by McCabe, grounded to third. On came Searles. It was a 2-1 ball game after 3. And it stayed that way. Into the fourth, Norwalk made some noise again. They had runners at the corners, 2 out. Max Berman lined to right. In the fifth, again, another opportunity. Searles on second, but could not get any further. And after that, the McMahon bullpen shut the door. But in the seventh, McMahon got the extra insurance run. A leadoff walk to Chris Giordano. He moved to second on a sacrifice by Griffin Root. Mike Macari came on and pinch ran at that point. Wadi Almonte reached on a fielder's choice and an error by the pitcher, and that set things up for Michael Claps to double, bringing in Macari to make it 3-1. Almonte was gunned down on the plate, as he ran through a stop sign. It was 3-1 there. Into the bottom of the seventh, quick and easy. Montero, Berman, Barone all went 3 up, 3 down. The totals on the day, Jeff Vitito for McMahon will get the win. 86 pitches in 5 innings of work, 1 run earned, 4 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 3 through 1 wild pitch. Andrew Matthews came on, he got the save, 21 pitches in 2 innings of work, no runs, he struck out 2. On the other side for the Norwalk Bears, Mike Gonzalez will take the loss. 72 pitches, not sharp, especially in the first. He pitched 4, allowed 2 runs, both earned, 2 hits, walked 3, hit 1, struck out 4, and the big bug on his scorecard, 4 wild pitches. Liam Notley pitched an inning, 19 pitches in that inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, and no other damage. Ryan Searles came on, 31 pitches in 2 innings of work, 1 run, unearned, 1 hit, walked 2, and 1 wild pitch. More totals for you. For McMahon, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. They stranded 7. For Norwalk, a run on 4 hits, 1 error, and they stranded 4. Jeff Vitito gets the win. Mike Gonzalez the loss. Andrew Matthews the save. A game that took 1 hour and 59 minutes in front of an opening day crowd of 46,198 because it just sounds fun to say that. Darien, by the way, beat Fitch 9-3. That is not a final from what I'm reading, or is it a final now? Yes, it is. Andrew Winch got the win. So just reading this tweet quickly, 4 runs in the second and in the fourth for Darien. Brereton, Schofield, and Brown with 2 RBIs apiece. Andrew Winch the win. Darien 9, Fitch 3. Thank you, Josh Fisher. Great job by everybody here at Nathan Hale Middle School. And with all that said for this Saturday afternoon, that'll do it. The final score once again, McMahon 3 and Norwalk 1. Now, once again, keep an eye out for coffee break updates on Monday and then back in action on Tuesday. That's also when our next game broadcast will be, as John Jay of New York, the Indians, come calling on the New Canaan Rams and girls lacrosse. We're at Dunning Field at 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. For our entire crew here at Nathan Hale Middle School, a thanks to Eric Gendron for showing up and to Jake Lahiff for running the scoreboard. For John Kovach, Sean Saylor, Marty Hersom, Josh Fisher, AJ Simonowski directing, I'm Rob Adams. Great to be back with baseball. Final score, McMahon 3, Norwalk 1. Enjoy your Saturday and enjoy your weekend. You've been watching the FCAC on the HAN Network. So long from Norwalk.